The sixth is rationality, wisdom, and prudence. Would you want to follow a leader who you believe is not prudent? Would you want to follow a leader who you think is not wise, he's taking wrong calls, wrong decisions, indulging in wrong practices, is not rational? No one will follow him. So this is about creating value through people who are followers, and these followers will not follow a leader unless and until the leader reflects by his behavior and style a certain wisdom, a certain prudence, a certain rationality in the decisions he is taking. And that is what creates a certain belief in him, which leads to the whole exercise. Now, these are the 7 important things which are very, very critical when you break open the shell of esoteric leadership. What will you find inside? We run sessions when, of course, I wish I had the time on a longer sessions. I would have taken you through deeper elements of each of what I have spoken to you about. But for a session like this, it is sufficient that you need to understand this. Now, what I'm going to bring you to is a very, very important last part of my discussion, which I wanted to talk to you about. And that is about whole system integrated plasticity. It's a new concept that is being developed. And the whole idea is like this, that in an organization, you will find 2 systems prevailing. At any point of time, there are 2 systems prevailing, all right? One is, of course, the organizational system, which is creating value. So there is a certain value chain in the organization. There is a supply chain working. There is a cash flow chain working. There is a people management chain working. So there are several interconnected chains working to be able to create value for the organization. Each are interdependent on each other. If you don't have cash, you can't supply chain. The supply chain won't work. If supply chain doesn't work, manufacturing doesn't work. Manufacturing doesn't work, you don't generate product. You don't have products, you will not service the market. You don't service the market, you will not get money. You don't get money, you will not be able to pay your employees. So there is an interconnected value chain operating in an organization, which is on the one hand, one of these critical systems. On the other hand, there is a human system operating alongside this, all right? Now, the human system is creating that environment and is the actor of what the organizational value chain is all about. How do you run supply chain? How do you run your cash flows? You'll require people. So the human system is the second system which is operating in an organization, and this is based on operating on the 8 elements that we were talking about. All right, we spoke about all of that. So now what is critical is the relationship between these 2 systems. The people system is dependent on the organizational system. If organizations don't make profit, if their value chain is not working, if they're not able to, and we saw it in the current lockdown system, that when organizations were not able to operate, it has an indirect effect on the people, all right? So it works. In the same way, the people system also has an impact on the organization system. If a new leader comes and starts treating people badly than what they have been used to under the previous leader, or if things situationally at the house of an employee changes, then his behavior at the workplace impacts the organizational system. So both the systems have a certain element of relationship where one-to-one, one impacts the other impacts the first, all right? Now, what is critical is a unique balance. So every time that an enterprise has a problem in the market, someone as a leader has to go and be mindful that it will have an effect on the human system. And therefore, the human system needs to be managed, because otherwise it will lose its alignment. And when the alignment between the human system and the organizational system is not managed, then the chances are that the system will fail. Right. Mystical leaderships or great leaders are those who are mindful of those changes which are happening in either of the systems and quickly goes and manages what we call the whole system integrated plasticity. Plasticity is about flexibility. Now, your culture should ensure that the systems are not integrated but very rigid. So, example, if there are situations happening outside, you cannot say that my systems and the people subsystem is not going to be impacted. All right. So the organizational culture should reflect that plasticity, which is called the whole system integrated plasticity, to be able to adjust and ensure that one subsystem is adjusted mindfully to match the changes in the other subsystem. And that is what mystical leadership does, and which is why when a leader is seen as addressing the people in times of adversity, people love that leader. Have you not read a thesis where people said that my leader spoke to me and explained to me, and therefore I could fight back? Versus my leader was blindfolded, did not talk to us at all. We did not know what was happening, as a consequence of which we could not support what the organization had to do. Those are the two realities. So esoteric leaders are able to manage the whole system integrated plasticity, which is very, very critical to success. And this is the overarching thought I thought I was going to be sharing with you. There is a dynamic, dependent relationship between organization systems and people systems. And to be able to create value, the two systems need to be balanced. Esoteric leadership is about managing effectively the mystic and leadership magic to be able to manage the people system, versus there is an organizational system, the efficiency of which has to be managed by the same leader, but in his managerial role through the resources, systems, technology, and processes. So this is the concept of esoteric leadership at a top line 25-minute kind of a show that you are running. We can at later point, if you want to do about any of this, we can get on together. But this is the concept of esoteric leadership, which I thought I would share with you. And the system has to have whole system integrated plasticity, as I explained to you.